Thanks for hopping on the channel today. We have a treat today. We have a guy who just got finished speaking at one of the largest Medicare conferences nationwide, Mr. Brad Hannon, one of the top leaders in the under 65 health space, a cavalier in the industry. I appreciate you hopping on today, Brad.
Yeah, man. It's fun to be here.
Yeah.
Having a blast.
Absolutely. So today, I'll be honest with you, I don't know a ton about the under 65 space, so I really want to dig into that for both myself and then also a lot of the agents watching. So first question, I hear a lot of heat on the under 65 space. There's no money in it, but why should agents be selling under 65 health?
Well, if they want to help people, then who cares about the money, right?
True that.
They need to help people. But it is, in all seriousness, a very underserved niche, I think. There is a lot of money in it, just like anything else. I mean, if you do it the right way, yes, you can earn a lot of income. The best thing about it for me is that literally people don't understand that there's options. Like, people really think that they can go to the marketplace and they can select a plan from the 20 plans available, and that's all that they have access to. And so to kind of shake that up a little bit and be able to offer alternative options to that, or even some ACA where applicable, it makes a huge difference. And whenever you can feel good about what you're doing, as well as make a good income, I mean, I think I'm always looking for win-win-wins, right? Where everybody can win, nobody has to lose. And I think that's the under 65 market for me has just been a lot of fun. I've got great relationships with some of my clients. I kind of serve a niche of healthy and wealthy, if you will. I mean, that's kind of the industry lingo for it, right? Would be healthy and wealthy. But I resonate with those people. I connect with those people. I like to learn from those people. In fact, I was on a call the other day, and I was actually on a training some agents on how to get referrals, and I did a live call to one of my clients, and then he actually, and I told him later on that, hey, I was on a training, so thank you for that referral. It worked out. And then he gave me a training on how to get referrals, and this was from a client, and he's a real estate agent. And so it's just really cool to be able to connect with your clients. And not saying you can't in the over 65 world, but grandma and grandpa have a little bit different things to say than your young entrepreneurs that need help with the insurance.
Totally right. So what? It's something. This is selfish here, but I struggle with that market a little. I think it's product knowledge stuff. But what, other than ACA, the obvious answer there, what other products are you selling to most people?
So, short-term medical gets a bad rap. And I got a quick story about a client. Actually, this is just so recent, and I shared it in the Health Insurance Hustlers in that group. I shared the whole story from the client. On a short-term medical plan, I'll give you the short version, over $700,000 in medical claims a month and a half.
Wow.
After.
What happened?
He had a aneurysm, and he was 38 years old, super healthy. They didn't have insurance for over 2 years prior, like no insurance. One of my really good friends and agents, that's another cool thing, is being able to bring your friends in this industry. One of my really good friends called this person. It was his second client he ever sold, and a month and a half later, he ended up in the hospital with an aneurysm. Now, I'm smiling, and I can talk about it today because it's truly a happy ending story. A month ago, he was skiing with his family in Colorado, so he's fully recovered. Everything's good. Medical bills paid at 100%, and that's just, that just speaks to the actual comprehensiveness of a short-term medical in the right situation, right? It's just like anything else. The common argument with Medicare is like, Medicare Supplement or Medicare Advantage, right? Well, if you don't put a human in that discussion with like, hey, what's this human's needs, right? What's this human situation? Sure. Then you really can't even have a debate. And the same thing goes with short-term medical versus ACA or fixed benefit, or what's better. It just depends on the client. And that was a perfect situation. And there are tons and tons and tons of people out there that feel the same way. They're healthy. They don't want to pay $1,200 or $2,000 or $3,600 a month for their family's coverage. And there's only one other really way that you can turn other than going with like a health share or something,
Right. I know myself, like we were looking at health insurance options. I'm still on my parents' plan because I haven't hit 26 yet. And there's the ACA is expensive if you make a little bit of a higher income, even at our age. So doing great stuff, man. I think it's cool that you can connect with the younger people because I'm so used to talking.
Well, dude, I get around you and Lustig, and I feel like I got to work twice as hard because, you guys in 10 years are going to be light years ahead of where I'm at now even, and it's just crazy, but yet awesome to see, and we both are able to kind of push each other. And also, I will say, Matt, he might say that he's unsure in that under 65 market, but that's because I've been trying to get the guy on webinars and to trying to help him for the last 6 months. And he's like, man, I'm selling too much Medicare.
Well, and you have helped me. I mean, I put maybe 2 or 3 short terms through a month, and you've helped me with a lot of that stuff, but nowhere near what you guys are producing and everything. So I love talking about marketing, and in the Medicare space, it's a lot of direct mail, a lot of traditional media type stuff. What do you guys use for marketing to these clients?
A good team.
Okay.
I'm not the guy that really wants to spend a whole lot of time thinking Facebook ads or lead generation campaigns or mailers or any of that stuff. Really, I just kind of stay in my lane when it comes to that, and I've outsourced a lot of that to the security agent marketing team. So they do a great job of generating leads and things. But that being said, kind of thinking bigger picture, and also, I mean, your seminars and your mailers and the things that you're doing and other Medicare agents, life agents are doing, that's working. I've begun to think recently, like, hey, we're gonna try that. So we're working on a direct mail campaign as we speak, just to test it, right? We'll see what happens, and we'll keep you up to date. If it works, then we won't tell you. If it doesn't work, then we'll definitely tell you that it doesn't work. But if it works, we're not going to tell you. We're going to keep it a secret for a while. We're going to run it out. But the direct mail is a cool thing in theory, right? And then also, I've really been thinking, because of your seminars and stuff, I've been thinking like, man, what would it look like to have an educational event in the under 65? And I'm actually working with some holistic doctors that have a little practice that want me to do that. And so I plan on, hopefully you'll hook me up with some good tips and tricks on how to do it, but I plan on running a seminar type vibe for the clients of this doctor's office, right? Because they're a holistic doctor's office. They generally have
younger
healthy
crowd.
clients.
Yeah.
So, and plus they just feel that, like, they've been clients of mine for a long time, so they understand it. And they're like, Brad, how can we help these people? Like, what? Like, it's just crazy, Not to get too far off topic, but that same person, he was telling me the other day that his brother's a financial advisor, and he was at a investment conference, right, for financial advisors, and he said literally like 25, 30, 40% of the conference, they spoke about health insurance and how the heck they're going to help their clients and things with that huge problem, right? And as we know, and as Lustig just said, right, where there's problem, there's opportunity, right? Problem to solve.
Exactly.
There's opportunity.
Right. So you have obviously your office in Florida, and how many agents are you working with on a downline, or however your model works?
We really only have about 30 agents that are writing business consistently. It's a good number, right? We've got like this critical mass, but we have some agents that just crush it. I mean,
right.
I really like to, and I'm not a huge recruiter, I just don't. I guess I'm turning into more of it because I'm writing less on my personal pen. But for so long, I've always felt like, man, like, yes, recruiting is cool, but I just want to work with people that want to work with me.
Right.
And I don't need that because I can produce my own income with my personal pen and show others how to do it. But now, as we grow, it's just become more of a necessity to continue recruiting. And
right. Have you seen that a lot of your recruits have come from some sort of warm market, or how are you guys getting a lot of those?
Yeah, everything that I'm doing right now, and Landon talks about all the time, like our market is moving towards, or really has moved towards educational content. And so I've just been trying to push out as much educational stuff, and starting things like the Facebook group Health Insurance Hustlers, and doing little stuff. And again, the reason why I don't focus on the marketing a whole lot, like lead gen and all that, is because, man, I'm not good at it. So I don't have all of the systems and technologies and whatever that I would need to consistently run courses and webinars. But I will say that even through just starting, right, just kind of putting it out there, I've started to have started to kind of assemble a team around me, right? A great video guy was a good start. He's killing it, and he's not just doing video, he's doing some marketing as well. I've had other people reach out that want to
be involved and be a part of it, because they're not the ones that necessarily want to be the face and be in front of the camera and do all that, but they see the mission
Right.
that I'm on, and I think that's kind of probably the most effective thing that I'm doing right now.
Yeah, so you talk about your mission. What does that mean to you? What are you trying to do with that?
Well, right now, and for the last year or so, I mean, really for a couple years, ever since I met Justin and started to learn that Medicare agents weren't writing health, like they were just referring it. And I would get so many referrals from Medicare agents and life agents. And eventually I'm like, well, this is great. I love the free business. I'll take the referrals, but I'm not going to refer you business because we're going to write Medicare,
Right.
and so you should do the same. But truthfully, the transition from the under 65 to Medicare is so much more difficult. I think that the under 65 world can be simplified, right? If you dumb it down to what insurance, health insurance, right, is to protect you against bankruptcy. And when you approach it with that very simplistic view, and you don't get so wrapped up into co-pays for doctor's visits and prescriptions and all of that stuff, now there's certain clients that needs to be a focus, but not everybody. And so when you really boil it down, my mission is to help Medicare and life insurance agents right now add, and I don't like to use that word add really, is to more capitalize on the opportunity that's right in front of them with the spouse in the house, or with whatever usually it's the spouse in the house.
Right.
Like, okay, husband's turning 65, wife's 62, what are we going to do? And if you can capture that business, you can surely capture the med sup when the wife turns 65 as well. So stop referring it out so much and start to learn it, because it's really listen, if you can go through AHIP and do all that stuff, and understand the difference between a plan G and a plan N and
Right.
all of these PDPs and all of this stuff, I promise you can pick a plan from 20 different plans on the marketplace, or the 3 or 4 different short-term medical cares. It's not like there's thousands of options. In fact, one of the things that I tell my clients, and it might sound kind of negative, but I'm just a realist when it comes to insurance, and I think you have to be, right? I'm very much optimistic in every way, shape, and form. I try to stay very positive, but when it comes to insurance, right, I tell some of my clients, hey, if you've got 10 options and all 10 options kind of suck, doesn't change the fact that we've got 10 options and we've got to choose one if you want to be covered, right? It would be the equivalent of a Medicare, if Medicare supplement was the only thing that was available, right? And obviously the plans are really good, so it's hard to draw a comparison. But let's say those same supplements weren't that great, right? And there was 5 of them. You still are going to have to choose
Gotta
one,
do something.
right? So the lesser of all the evils is the game we play, and it's a different feeling, right? Because I deal with a lot of real estate agents, right? And I tell them, I say, I'm not selling you your first house or your dream house. Right, I'm not selling you your dream car. It's not always a feel-good thing to in the beginning, but to know your family's protected, to know that if something happens, you have security is where the reward is, right?
Right. So if let's just say a brand new agent, someone who's never sold insurance, or a Medicare agent or a life agent wants to get going in the under 65 space, like for me, I write some just because the spouse in the house, or I get a referral here and there. How do you get started? What should you do? What do those steps look like?
Well, naturally, you want to get contracted, right?
Who's the best person in the industry to get contracted with for under 65?
Justin Brock. No.
Okay.
I work with Justin on a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. So if one and the same sort of thing. But yeah, definitely you can reach out to me. A lot of times, and this is the case with Matt and many people, is I won't contract them directly, and I'll refer them to somebody, and I just want to take part in the coaching aspect of things. I don't need the overrides forever, and a lot of times when you can go direct, obviously you sometimes want to go direct. So I'll just point you in the right direction either way. I'm not a big recruiter. It was funny what Justin said earlier about he's offering these courses and different events, and Justin said, and I really related with this. He said, you guys can sign up and you can pay for it, and I'll see you there. Or, if you come ask me, I'll probably just give it all to you for free. And these are high ticket items. It's like $2,500, event. And he's like, I'll probably just give it all away to you for free anyways, because that's just how I am. And that's where I'm at. It's like really, it's really hard. And I think, what I talked about with that attitude of gratitude, like giving back is just kind of in my nature a little bit with this industry. Now, for those that know me watching, they might be like, oh yeah, Brad's just this humanitarian. No, it's not necessarily that. I just am very passionate about giving back to the industry, right? Because it's done so much for me, my mindset, my family, my life in general, because prior to any of this, I never even thought I would turn 6 figures, let alone, hopefully get into 7, which we discussed that I'm not quite there yet. But
when do you think that'll be?
Tomorrow, maybe. I don't know.
All right.
I'm working on some things that should certainly do it, but it's not about the money again. It's about the income is the outcome, right? So
Right.
I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having more fun than ever, and Justin talked about that earlier. Is it helped? All of this stuff helps him from being burnt out. And that's where I'm at, man. These events, the getting around, hanging out with you, getting around people in general, just in the same industry, it just kind of recharges you. So I'm just having a blast.
Yeah. So a couple things. You talking about Justin, like, if you talk to him, he'll give it all away for free. You're doing the same thing. I'm messaging you every once in a while, and you're like, here's what to say, all that stuff. But what I love about guys like Brad and all these people is like literally they will tell you exactly, like Justin's given me so many marketing things and stuff that have helped my business in such a huge way. And I just love, like, people think that successful people are like hoarders of information. It's literally the opposite of that. It's so awesome.
Yeah, there's no secret sauce. And a lot of times, true too, what I find is that even if you give it all away, not everyone and actually a small portion of people are actually going to apply it anyways.
Right.
So why not just give it away,
Right.
and a small portion will take some action on it.
Right. So you've been in the industry for a while. You've been successful. You oversee a bunch of agents, and you talk to probably hundreds of agents. What's the difference between the ones who make it and the ones who don't?
Well, it's I can tell you what it's not. It's not like a good close or a good system or a good script or good leads, or it's not in the tactics and strategies that I find usually, because that stuff can be tweaked pretty easily. It's really easy to tweak a script to make it work, or it's really easy to adjust some things you're saying to be able to close a deal. What's really difficult is the mindset, and so that's why I'm so passionate about coaching the whole person, right, in the mindset thing, because that's what changed the game for me. Without going into my whole backstory, when I was in construction, I literally, I vividly remember feeling like this is it, and I'm happy, I'm okay with it.
Right.
Luckily I grew up watching my mom, who, no matter the circumstance, was always, happy and positive. And so even in those, I guess darker times where I wasn't really doing a whole lot with my life, I felt, well, this is, hey, I'm enjoying it. I'm following my dad's footsteps, or however I could spin it. But then I got into this world of like unlimited potential, right? And I realized, like, wow, I got addicted to
Right.
just trying to improve all the time, right? Getting 1% better every day.
Yeah. So I don't know what our time's looking like here, but like, you see yourself in 10 years, and yeah, probably the income will follow, like you said, but what does that look like for you in 10 years?
For me, I'm really discovering that what I thought was my primary skill of like sales and coaching salespeople really has become kind of a secondary skill, if you will. And I feel like my primary skill is networking, relationships, and leveraging those relationships to help make an impact, right? And so a lot of what I'm doing right now is really just relationship based. To fast forward in 10 years, I would see myself hopefully leaving a little bit of a legacy on the industry, right, in the 10 years that I'd put into it, because that would put me at like 15, 16 years in the business.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully I've started to establish a little bit of a legacy with whatever that looks like, right? I do have a dream to open some call centers and offer kind of an entry-level salary type position.
Nice.
to lower that barrier entry even more.
Right.
I have a dream of partnering with large agencies to create one giant distribution that has full transparency, right? Which is something Tyler talked about today. Full transparency and knowing that, hey, we're doing this because we're better together, right? Like the carriers aren't going to or are going to respond a little bit differently when we've got, you know, everybody banded together, right? So I see myself kind of as bringing people together. I'm a connector, right? So I like to network and you know, get into relationship with folks. And then basically what happens is, and this happened the other day, you know, I was at lunch with somebody and it's kind of like, well, what can I do to help you? And then I've got some things that I want to help you with. And that doesn't always happen, right? Sometimes it's like just getting to know somebody and then you meet somebody else and then that light bulb, and they say something and that light bulb goes off. Like, for instance, seminars, right? If I come across a Medicare agent and they bring up seminars, and they're like, yeah, you know, I'm thinking about doing seminars. That light bulb will go off in my head. Hey, this person, I can connect them with Matt Temin. And so I'm indirectly making a difference that way. And I think that's what my, you know, again, going back to my primary skill is just that you know, networking, connecting people. And so again, legacy. I mean, that's the goal.
Good, man. Good.
Leave the industry better than I found it, right? That's ultimately, because I feel like you know, there are folks in the industry that don't feel that way and just take, and you know, I want to give back a little bit.
Good, man. Good to hear. Well, where can people find you, man?
BradHannon.com is a great place to start. So that was there's a contact form there. I'd love to. I reach out directly. I reach out personally. Like I said, I'm kind of building the team around it still. So everything is me really. So if you fill out that contact entry, I will reach out personally, and then again we'll connect and see how I can help you. So BradHannon.com is a good place to start, and then Health Insurance Hustlers is the Facebook group, and man, there's just so much value provided in that group, both by me and I mean you posted some stuff in there. There's just a lot of good stuff going on in there, and then my YouTube channel is just Brad Hannon, and I'm on a mission to put out as much kind of free entry-level content as we can there.
Yeah, if you guys want to see a cool YouTube channel, well, check out mine first. But
and subscribe.
And like, comment, subscribe. We got to throw that plug in there real quick. But Brad's got some sweet stuff. I mean, awesome graphics. This video guy is pretty killer. But, man, I appreciate you getting on. Appreciate you talking with us. I know we're busy here at Medicare Con and everything, so I'll let you get back to it. But, guys, if you need help with under 65, if you just want someone cool to talk with or work out with or whatever, Sarasota, Florida. So hit this guy up, and, man, I appreciate you getting on.
Yeah, man, thanks. Appreciate you.
Yeah.